Good morning, everybody. I hope you all had a lovely weekend. Just want to say a massive well done to those of you who have been engaging with the home learning. We've seen some great emails from some of you. I'm going to introduce the lesson in a second, but before I do that, I'm just going to give a huge shout out to some people who have been working really hard on my maths in the last 7 days or so. Okay. So some shout outs to Edward in 6P, Samson in 6G, Abigail in 6R, and James in 6M. Each of these pupils have been working really hard. They've been doing some excellent work. So you've each earned yourself 2 dojo points for aspiration. There'll be more My Maths activities coming out today, all based around our topic this week of fractions. So let's move on. Now, interestingly, tomorrow there will be a chance for a TT Rockstars arena battle for the whole year group. So this will be available every single Tuesday between 9 AM and 3 PM, and the challenge has been set for 5 minutes. You may wish to do more after that. Please send us some feedback on the emails of how it went or any ideas for any further improvements. Good luck. Okay, so as I said earlier, we're looking at fractions this week, and today's objective is to add and subtract fractions. So a quick starter task. So can you pause the video and have a little go at this true or false? Okay, so let's have a little look. So of course it was false. To add 2 fractions, they need to have the same denominator. You can then add the numerators, like so. Obviously that person made a mistake of adding the 4 and the 8 and making 12. You can't do that. You need to convert into the same number for the denominator. So what's the big picture? Well, fractions are everywhere. You need to be able to add up different types of fractions to find an answer. We always talk about pizzas, but it's very useful to see it visually below. So key vocabulary for this lesson. Again, add and subtract, fraction, divide, numerator and denominator. And we have a little image below just explaining which one is which. So numerator, how many equal parts do you have? This is the top number. And denominator, how many equal parts is the whole divided into? So this is my turn. Charlie eats 1/5 of the chocolate bar. Susie eats 3/10 of the chocolate bar. How much have they eaten all together? Now, this person down here thinks they've eaten 4/15 of the chocolate bar. Now, I can see why they might have said that, but let's go and find out if they are correct. So let's work out what 1/5 of this chocolate bar is first. So I've split the chocolate bar into fifths, so with the yellow lines here. And then I've actually coloured in 1/5, okay? So 1 piece of the 5 that have been separated. This is actually equivalent to 2/10. So you can see here, there's 2 pieces when it's split into tenths, or it's 1/5. So they are equivalent fractions. That's something to remember because that'll be useful later on. So now we're going to put Susie's part of the chocolate bar onto our image. So Susie eats 3/10 of the chocolate bar. So by having that equivalent fraction earlier, that helps us to think about the part that Charlie had and the part that Susie had. So between the two of them, I wonder if you know how much they've eaten. So how much altogether? And hopefully we've seen that 5/10 of the bar is eaten. I wonder if anyone knows what an equivalent fraction of 5/10 is. Can you actually see how much of this chocolate bar has been eaten? Yeah, well done. It's half of the chocolate bar. So you could actually call that a half. Right, let's move on. So this is our turn. I'm going to let you guys have a little go on your own and then we'll discuss it together. So there are some bar models at the top to help you solve these 2 questions. Now, one is a takeaway, so look very carefully, and one is an add. So I'd like you to pause the video, have a little think of what we've done, and have a little go for yourself, and then we'll talk about it together. And if you're feeling really adventurous, there's a little challenge. Can you find common multiples to help convert your fractions into equivalent fractions? So then you won't need to actually use the bar models above. It's up to you. Okay, well done. So our first one, 7/12 take away 1/4 or 1/4. Now there are a couple of ways of doing this, but could have had the answer of 4/12. If we change 1/4 into twelfths, so we used our equivalent fractions, you would have found that it was 3/12, which is the same as this part here. So 1/4 here is the same as 1, 2, 3/12. So that's 7, take away those 3 bits there, would have left you with 4. Okay, our next one is adding. So I've actually got this amount, 7/12, and I'm adding on the 1/4. So if you know how many twelfths this quarter was before, you might have already worked this one out. So yeah, 10/12. So we would have had these 7 here, and this one is worth 3/12. So if I'd have put that up there, 1, 2, 3, in total I'd have had 10/12. Now each of these have equivalent fractions as well. So 4/12 is the same as 1/3, and 10/12 is the same as 5/6. Again, just trying to find common multiples to simplify your fractions. So there are going to be some chili challenges on the next few pages. So these are your turn. Either work your way through each chili or choose a chili you wish to complete. It's kind of the same as we do in school. So you'll be able to self-assess at the end of this video as well. All right, so work your way through, and then at the end there'll be a chance to check your work. So we have chili 1 here. I'm going to zoom in to help you a little bit, and you can pause and have a go at them, okay? And we have chili 2. And we have more chili 2. Moving on to chili 3. So this is the first part. And the last part of chili 3 is on this page. Okay, well done. Email in your work to us at the Year 6 email address. And I will now move on to looking at some of the answers so you can check how you did, and you can then actually use that to email in, okay? So here's our first one. And chili 2. Next part of chili 2. And chili 3. So those are the calculations, and you're sorting them into this table. And the last part, so chili 3. Okay, well done everybody.